The Gorecast is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all horror.
Also brought to you by iBleedIndie.com, your one-stop shop for all your horror rentals and purchases. Don't waste $10 on a soda, relax at home with iBleedIndie.com.
As well as the Station of Decapitation Without Your Head.
America's longest-running horror channel, www.withoutyourhead.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Hello and welcome back here on a lovely, fantastic Sunday. Back with us guys from the Gorecast. As you saw in the post earlier today, we are going to be cutting away to our hombre and horror, Hart.D.Fisher, with a really cool interview because this man has done an illustrious history through the horror world and the comic book world. Yeah. With some very interesting stories. And, as we've also promised, the cracker of some good news that we have been promising you for numerous weeks now. Yes. Quite some time is all teasing you. The veil shall be lifted. The veil shall be lifted. So in one little click of a button here, we're going to go from big screen to 2 mini screens. Like so. So on our right over here, we have Hart.D.Fisher, owner of Boneyard Press and co-owner and main man behind one of America's only dedicated horror channels, American Horrors.
Hey guys.
Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for being on the show, man.
First of all, before we get into any interviews, we have to wish Hart a very belated by a couple of hours, but a very, very happy birthday nevertheless.
He's still drinking, it still counts.
He's still drinking, it still counts. This is true.
That's an Irish rule. Well,
I drink a bottle of wine a day, keeps the doctor away.
That's certainly one way of doing it, yeah.
That's totally true. That's totally true. Chat away there for a sec, just while I get this all set up.
You know, you get all this crap from these doctors about how liquor is going to screw up your liver, and then you find out actually the most dangerous thing for your liver is frickin' Tylenol. That's the shit that kills your liver. If you take Tylenol or anything like ibuprofen, that shit fucks up your liver bad.
Yeah.
I actually years and years. So I got tested recently. You guys mentioned it's my birthday. I'm 48 years old now, and so I was going to the docs, getting fixed up. I kind of neglected my health for a little while, taking care of my wife.
Yeah.
And they were doing all these warnings with me. Hart, we want you to be prepared. You might have to make changes in your life. Ooh, you may be having adult onset diabetes. Ooh, you may have this. You may have that. Well, guess what, guys? I didn't have shit. I'm super goddamn healthy. And in fact, I have a super awesome healthy liver, and I drink like a fish. And, and I've been drinking for a long, long time, like a fucking Irishman. And liver's great, no diabetes, no nothing. I did have to get a tooth pulled because one of my molars cracked in half, and that hurt like I never felt pain like that in my life.
Yeah, that happened to me as well. It's not a pleasurable experience.
It was terrible, terrible. So I'm in great health, and I'm really happy to be here.
It wasn't booze that did it to me. It was Monster.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people that have fucked themselves up with that. Yeah. I knew a guy who gave himself a heart murmur from drinking 2-liter. He drank 2 Mountain Dew 2-liter bottles a day, and at night to try to go to sleep, he would take Sudafed.
Oh God!
Oh, lovely. I'll tell you a true story. When the dentist saw my teeth, like how rotted it was from the Monster, he's like, "You must be drinking like 2 or 3 cans of that a day, or a week, or something like that." I was like, "I'm drinking like 4 or 5 cans of that a day." And he's like, "How have you not had a heart attack?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't sleep."
Kevin Eastman, the co-creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, told me the same thing. He and Simon Bisley, the artist, him and Simon, that was their favorite drink, was vodka and Red Bull. And it rotted out his teeth. He's like, if I knew how much money I was going to spend fixing my teeth, I would have never drank that shit.
I think it's been about a decade and a half since I drank vodka and Red Bull.
It brings out the
every once in a while I'll have it, but it's not really my drink. If I'm going to have vodka, I like a vodka gimlet, vodka and lime juice.
Whiskey and lime. I love whiskey and lime. Jameson and lime is lovely.
This man should actually be like a drinks promoter.
You know what's good?
Go on.
People think I'm crazy, but I got a bar to name a drink after me. It's called Fisher's Folly. And it is lemonade mixed with Fireball whiskey.
Nice.
Yeah, a couple shots of Fireball whiskey and some lemonade, and you'd be shocked how good that tastes.
No, I can see how that would work. A buddy of mine, you know yourself, end of a house party, all that's left is like bits and pieces from different drinks. Accidentally created something that tasted. There was sweets over here called Coca-Cola. They're like little blocks of sugary candy things. This drink tasted like them, but it was highly alcoholic. It was delicious.
That's awesome.
I mean, it was lethal.
You know, guys,
Brady is saying here the
should
vodka
we
and Red
just
Bull.
go ahead and let people know what the hell we've been teasing them about for so long?
Yeah, I suppose we could. Yeah, we could get it out of the way nice and soon. We'll let you do the honors, boss.
Well, you know, American Horrors is growing really fast. We have just made the deal to do our first horror film festival here in the Midwest. We're going to be doing it the last week of October. I'm finalizing all the paperwork with the theater right now. They're very excited to have us, so it's going to be a 2-day fest. And we're starting our series, our Sunday night premieres on American Horrors Roku. Is going to have a little new addition to it.
Who's that new addition?
The Gorecast.
Yeah,
That's right, folks. Gorecast is going to be a real television show now, aired worldwide on Sunday nights on the Roku channel. And also, we just rebooted and revamped the American Horrors website at AmericanHorrors.com. So we're going to make sure that we have the VOD up of the Gorecast up there. After it's been on the air for a little bit, we're not going to put it up right away. So all you instant gratification people can suck my fucking cock. You got to watch the fucking channel, motherfucker. Watch the channel. So it's going to air on Sunday nights. I'll probably air it I'll air it twice in the day. I'll probably put it on a little earlier because I know you guys are on a different timeline out there.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be. We're going to premiere this. Your show premieres on June 18th. So June 18th, your show premieres. June 4th. We have Madflix winner of the movie Slit. It's Slit with directed by Pablo Absento out of Tokyo. So Madflix is a online short film contest, and we've teamed up with them. So their winner every month gets a contract with American Horrors. It's up to them whether they sign or not, but you know they won the contract. So every month you get a new short film, and we're premiering them on Sunday nights too. It's all part of our Sunday premiere series. Walking Dead isn't on the air right now. Fear the Walking Dead sucks. So I'm going to put something up that people can really watch.
Nice.
I'm glad. At least we're more entertaining than The Walking Dead.
Yeah. To be honest, that
Slit is going to premiere June 4th, and Don't Feed the Troll, which is really interesting and good. That's going to premiere on June 11th. And then your guys' show, Gorecast, is going to start on June 18th.
Cool.
And I liked the show quite a bit, actually. I think you guys bring something to your commentary, because I see a ton of this stuff, and most of the time, I don't like a lot of it, but I actually like a lot of your reviews, and I like a lot of what you've got to say about horror. So welcome to American Horrors, guys. It's a real pleasure to have you part of the team.
Thanks very much.
Pleasure
Very
to be
happy
here.
to be part of the team. I think it's just we're two very lifelong, dedicated horror fans. Is why we bring out a bit of a weird...
Plus, we're mouthy gits who are willing to voice our opinions at the drop of a hat, to be perfectly honest, or at least I am.
Yeah,
God love the Irish!
indeed.
Someone has to.
We have no booze.
No, we don't. We have no booze because... Well, you could have booze, but I'm driving home. So, no.
Okay.
No, no.
I'm glad I made the decision to walk home from the bar last night. I made sure not to drive. I
It's
didn't even
always a good
drive.
move.
Yeah, it's one of the good things about driving a bike. It's really not an option that you can viably take without, instantaneously regretting it.
Yeah. I've never ridden on a bicycle drunk before.
Motorbike.
While we're still typing on the...
You don't want to do that, man.
While we're still
No,
typing on the topic, April just posted, it's gone now because it's moved up the timeline, but she's after saying that speaking of livers, this day, 10 years ago, you introduced her to poutine for the first time.
Oh, God, I remember that, yeah. We have a drink for you if you ever get over here.
Fire water.
Poutine. It's basically the Irish version of moonshine.
Yeah?
Not to put... and once upon a time, I managed to get my hands on a few lovely bottles of it, which are nesting until proper occasions arise.
This would have been a proper occasion, to be honest.
He's not here.
This is true.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of getting back onto the whole topic, Hart, as we explained, has had a very, 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 very long, illustrious dance with the world of horror, starting off for when you were kind of doing comic books and things like that.
Yeah, I started my publishing career with Boneyard Press, the most infamous publishing house in the world, except for the creator of Mad Magazine. I'm the most controversial creator of comics alive today. And William M. Gaines had to testify in front of Congress. So give me time. Give me time. I'll get there. But with American Horrors, it's not about being controversial. American Horrors is a very different animal than Boneyard. Boneyard was a punch in the throat. Boneyard was a full-on assault. That's what it was meant to be. And I knew that it was a cult house. And for the people who don't know, Boneyard Press, we were the publishers of the Jeffrey Dahmer comic book that caused a lot of trouble. We did the Rush Limbaugh Must Die books. We did my own characters, Dark Angel. I'm the only comics creator to sue Marvel Comics and win.
Yeah.
That's me, baby.
Yeah.
And I'm the guy that did the Marvel Can Suck My Cock shirts at San Diego Comic-Con, which sold 100 shirts in less than a day. That's a lot of shirts, too. I've never sold that many shirts that fast. And the San Diego Comic-Con added 6 pages of legalese to their vendor contract so they could get rid of guys like me. I don't do San Diego Comic-Con. I think it's shit. I think it's a garbage con. It's not even for comics anymore. They treat the comics creators like crap. It's now Hollywood Con.
Oh, yeah.
And so I only would sneak in because, people would just give me a badge and, say, I'm Beaver Cleaver today. That's who I am. I'm not Hart.D.Fisher. I'm Beaver the Cleaver. So that's the only thing I would do is I would sneak in. That's it. I won't have anything to do with the show. I hate the show. They fucked me over before in the past. They fucked over a lot of people I know, a lot of comics creators, including the late, great Bernie Wrightson. They screwed him pretty good one year. So I really won't have anything to do with those guys. And at Boneyard, I also did a character called Build-A-Bull. We're developing a lot of these characters for video games right now. I'm trying to develop Build-A-Bull as a video game. I think that's the best one to be a video game. And then I worked with Danzig, and I ran Glenn Danzig's comic book company, Verotic, and I co-wrote the most controversial thing that they ever put out. It's banned in Oklahoma as obscene material to this day. It was called A Taste of Cherry. I co-wrote it with another gentleman, and it still resonates. There was an article just recently in a really cool magazine, actually. Evil Speak magazine did a whole... They really researched it. They really did their homework, and they allowed me for the first time to write a sidebar explaining where the story came from. It's about a snuff film, and it's pretty brutal. She gets gang raped and tortured to death. It's a horror story. People are going to die. Bad things are going to happen.
Yeah.
But
you don't watch horror for people.
Freaked out. They freaked out over this thing, and then I left comic books in the mid-'90s. Well, I didn't leave it totally, but I went into the adult film world, and I worked in adult films for a long time. I worked for Vivid and Metro and Randy West and Seymour Butts and Max Hardcore and Rob Black. And
you've literally just listed off Giz's wish list of people.
Not necessarily.
Well, in a job well done, sir.
Yeah.
Job well done, sir.
Yeah.
Job well done, sir.
Yeah, and I'm the only comic publisher to publish Michael Diana's work and get it carried by Diamond. He's the only American cartoonist to go to jail for his artwork. They banned his work and they grabbed him for obscene material, and I published it, even though the police were threatening me and telling me they were going to come after me for distributing obscene materials across state lines. I was like, no, this is art. This isn't what you guys are saying it is.
Yeah.
You guys are full of shit, and I'm going to take a stand here. And so I published it in Flowers and the Razor Wire. And then Max Hardcore has gone to jail for obscenity. Yeah. And so has Rob Black. He's gone to jail for obscenity. So I've got 3 people I've worked with that have all gone to jail for obscenity. Kind of crazy, huh? In a world that's supposed to be about free speech here in America? Yeah. It's not. Okay. And now the PC warriors are even worse. So all these online people, and what I can tell you, Gorecast guys, is I'll support whatever you say. You're never going to hear me go, oh, you know what? I really think you gotta apologize to the deaf people that were upset because you said, turn it up loud. Well, fuck you, you fucking assholes, you candy-ass motherfuckers. Read my lips. Fuck you.
You know what?
People get offended over everything. And guess what? You have the right to be offended, but you don't have the right to shut me down or shut somebody else down. And no apologies, baby. You guys are free.
Like they've always said, there's the infamous phrase that free speech is fine as long as you're saying what they want you to say.
At the end of the
For
day,
real.
they were in the right place.
You and I are definitely landed on the right home now, I think.
I'm bringing back the Marvel Can Suck My Cock shirts for a very limited time only because my wife's very sick. She's fighting for her life with severe anemia. So to help offset the cost of her medical treatment, which is sucking me dry.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Every extra penny I got. I'm online begging. I have a GoFundMe campaign. If anybody wants to hit us up via GoFundMe or PayPal, you can. Our GoFundMe is www.gofundme.com/Hart-Wakas-ER-medical-fund.
Wow.
So please help us out. Share our campaign on Facebook. We've managed to raise over $8,000. We're closing in on $9,000 now, and that's all just been done via Facebook. We haven't even utilized the network yet.
For any of the Irish people out here, if you're watching it, the medical care system over in America, if you didn't happen to know, isn't as good as Ireland, which is saying something.
Considering
it's
how
utter
bad
shit.
it is.
Yeah,
it's utter shit. I've been given blood most of my life, and I've done a lot of blood drives. So she had to get an emergency blood transfusion. The bill for that was like $15,000. They billed her for 3 rooms when she only stayed in 2, and the facility fee of being in the hospital itself was over $9,000. And it's bad, man. It's the medical care system in this country is shit. And I'll tell you guys something else too. Don't believe what you're seeing on the media about what's happening in this country.
We don't.
You can't trust it. I don't know what's up. I don't know why the media has been flipped to attack Trump the way they have been. He's not hated the way the media is portraying. I'm living in the Midwest, and I know all the people that fucking voted for him. I didn't vote for him, but I wasn't allowed to vote for the first time in my adult life. They made the voter registration laws out here so stringent that I didn't have some of the paperwork. Even though I've been registered to vote my entire adult life, I couldn't vote. So a lot of the stuff that's in the mass media is a lie. And that's part of why I do Heart Attack, the radio show. The reason I don't have Heart Attack on American Horrors is American Horrors is meant to be fun.
Horror.
Get away from that crap.
Yeah.
Put that crap in the background. It's about the horror.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
To be perfectly honest, the notion of seeing something in print or visual media and kind of stopping and going, it's probably full of crap is old hat to us Irish. You know, it's probably not as predominant. Well, actually, might be more or less as predominant in America, but it's definitely the same basic principle whereby you see one thing and you're going to have to sit and look at it and kind of go, I wonder what the other 2 or 3 different sides to that are. And
take it with a pinch of salt. Everything.
Take it with an entire chunk of fucking salt, man.
You have to. And I work in television. I've worked in newsrooms. I've been lied about. I was fake newsed by CNN. They totally lied about me and the Dahmer comic book I did. And one of the tricks they did is they took the answer to one question and they edited it as if it's the answer to a completely different fucking question, which is really dishonest.
But at the same
and CNN did that in Murder by Numbers, the documentary that I'm in. Thank God John Borowski did Serial Killer Culture, and I got to talk about it a little bit and let people know. If you guys have not seen it, it's a really good documentary, and it's on Amazon Prime right now.
Cool. Check that out.
Yeah, it's all about serial killer memorabilia, the people that sell it. A guy who used to sell Gacy paintings, and it was one of the first times I was actually really given carte blanche to talk about how the media lied about me. Because the Dahmer book was not pro-Dahmer; it's anti-serial killer. But the media made it out as if I was this Satan-worshipping, uneducated idiot.
Well, you say you had the audacity to paint it or to draw it in a nice fashion, and you had the audacity to look for some sort of financial reciprocation for your work.
It wasn't even that. It's just the simple fact that the fact that you approached the material at all meant that regardless of what way things were going to go, they have a hook that they can build a story around. Regardless of what the truth is, they can either paint you as the victim or they can paint you as the perpetrator, for want of a better term, all depending on what they think will sell the best, not necessarily what's actually fucking true. Ever. Sorry.
That's definitely the truth, because what happened with me is okay, the victim's family sued me over this comic book. So this whole thing got extended, the whole controversy. And again, no apologies, bitches. It's comic book. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
Don't buy it. And I hired a newspaper illustration guy so that we would have a good quality, and I purposely tried to handle distasteful subject matter as tastefully as I could.
Yeah.
Because you had to be honest about his crimes and what he did. So when the media flipped out over it, I'm like, okay, all right, I'm going to do something to really piss you fucking pricks off. So to finance my legal defense, I did the Further Adventures of Young Jeffrey Dahmer, and then I did Dahmer Zombie Squad, and then I did Jeffrey Dahmer versus Jesus Christ, the most offensive slugfest in the history of comics. And I'll say Jesus beat the shit out of fucking Dahmer.
So he's got a massive cross, like, so he's already...
Not the last summer.
The dude's tough, man.
Yeah, he's durable.
He's
durable.
The Jesus, he's tough, man. He's
Not the
tough.
last supper Dahmer expected.
Nobody mess with the Jesus.
Don't mess with the Jesus, man.
They really did tie the whole room together, though.
All I'm thinking is Jesus went up for the cross and got nailed.
So the media sold my books for me. The Dahmer book, the very first printing of it, only sold 4,000 copies. I only got $1.19 per book, and then you got to pay for your publishing, your printing. It's not big money. And then when the media got involved, the second printing sold 10,000 copies. And then the third printing, thanks to the media, sold another 4,000 copies. But we're still not talking about gazillions of dollars, you know?
Because I watched back to Sally Jesse, Raphael interviews and stuff like that, and the way they were talking to you, it actually made it out like you were living in this mansion made of Dahmer money.
And at the time I did the Dahmer book, I just got
dollars.
out of college, and I was a bouncer at a rock and roll club. Woo, big money!
Yeah, see, there's cash coming in.
And I got out of college with an art degree. Ooh, there's big money there, huh? House of Gold there, huh? Anybody who's seen my movie, The Garbage Man, that house is where it all went down. I lived there, and The Garbage Man is available at AmericanHorrors.com via VOD. It's out of print on DVD, but you can now watch it on VOD at AmericanHorrors.com.
Nice.
Wow, you're fair use to saying that.
Yeah. He has a
You're
doubt
just don't pat.
So, starting off in like the comic books, how did you kind of transcend from comic books into
your own TV station?
Your own TV station, basically.
It's pretty crazy, actually. Okay, I have loved comic books since I was 4 years old. I started writing Little Lulu and Richie Rich and all the kiddie books that everybody starts with. And then I became a Marvel and DC freak. I was a total Marvel maniac. I loved all their stuff. I liked a lot of the DC stuff, but something was missing from DC Comics that Marvel had at the time. And so I grew up drawing my own comic books and being creative. And then when I started to get older, I started to really like movies too, and especially horror films. So then you start thinking, well, I'd like to make one of these. And as an artist, what are you doing? You're doing storyboards. That's all you're doing is storyboards.
Yep.
So you're thinking of camera placement, storytelling, flow across the page. So it's almost like a total prep for it. And when I was in college, I met a bunch of guys that were into making films, and I moved in with them in that house. And during the Dahmer controversy, we felt, man, we gotta take advantage of this. Let's make a movie. So we did. We made my film, The Garbage Man, and that's when my girlfriend was murdered in the middle of making this film. And then I lost my mind. I was pretty crazy throughout the 90s. There were 3 different murder trials of the guy who raped and killed her. I had to testify. I was a key witness in it. It was a sex crime, and I was the Dahmer guy. So it was all kinds of press involved, and that went on for 10 years. So every time these trials would come up, I would get crazy again because it just made me insane.
It was just like refiring a fire every time.
Yeah. And I'm a trained martial artist, so for me to have to walk by this guy, I can kill you with my hands. It does nothing to me. I know how to do all that shit. All the UFC shit I know how to do. So for a guy like me, and I was really angry, and I was way more yoked than I am now. I was doing a lot of weightlifting. I was really angry. And so the Garbage Man kind of got derailed because of what was going on with these murder trials. And I had some friends who tried to steal the film from me. Oh, nice. They kept telling me, because they were the editors, and the idea was, Hart, this movie's just no good. It's just no good, Hart. Yeah, fuck you, Bill and Rob, you pieces of shit. Anyway, I make The Garbage Man, and I saw the Blair Witch when it came out, and I thought, fuck, if these guys can do it, I got to finish my movie. So I finished the film, and it took a while. It took a long time to get it sold because it's a disturbing film. It isn't a fun film. It's disturbed. It leaves you in a cold, dark place. Like Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. It's one of my favorites. So it was super influential on me when I made this. And so I'm trying to sell The Garbage Man. I'm going around to the American film market. I'm having meetings with distributors. And I get this phone call in 2008. And at this point, I was running a post-production studio. I was using adult films like film school because it's a product that has to have a certain professionalism.
Yeah.
But at the same time, no one's paying attention.
We actually were talking about that in the
Valentine's episode.
Yeah, we were doing a Valentine's Day episode, so we said for the lonely horror fan, we were doing some of the porn parodies, and we were actually saying that
a lot of the times the story, the camera work, all of it is as good, if not sometimes better, than even some of the
Evil Head was nearly like a shot-for-shot replication of The Evil Dead, but, with a lot of blowjobs.
My company did Porn of the Dead, which I highly recommend. Yes. It was nominated for a shitload of AVN awards. It was my company that made that something.
We actually reviewed it.
Yeah.
I'm the editor. I cut it, and
you did some fantastic work, sir. Bravo. Bravo.
Put all of those shadows in there. We put all of the film look was us. We did all of the effects. We did the sound mixing. We did it all. The director didn't do shit. He just... the adult film directors would come in, they would throw a stack of tapes on your desk and leave. These guys could barely give you the cast. They couldn't even tell you what order the scenes are supposed to be in.
I just shot a load of fucking... You make it a story.
Adult films was a really good film school, and Max Hardcore was one of the guys who really took me under his wing and really schooled me on how he did everything. The audio, the cameras, the lenses... He was actually really, really a straight-up business guy. Again, he never played any games with me or bullshit. Hell, my mom's met him. I've had my mom at his house. So a lot of what you see in front of the camera, that's not the person. And people keep thinking that what they see on the TV is the person.
As
it's
opposed
not.
to the character.
When I'm on American Horrors in my suit, I'm the host. I'm not my normal self. Yeah. I'm hosting. I'm busy. Coming up at 9 p.m. Movies from Planet X. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm in character. So... Getting back to how I got from comics, I left comics in 2004 to go into editing and post-production full-time. And I've cut over 150 movies and TV shows and adult films and music videos, at least 150. So when I'm getting on set, I have a shit ton of experience. So I rock and roll. I got a phone call from 3 Black Christian ladies who were launching a satellite network in Europe. And it was going to be in Norway and Spain and Italy and all through like Croatia and like 15 different countries in Europe. And the whatever it is up there with the Danes and the Swedes and stuff, whatever they call that. So they were, and Ireland was going to have these channels too. And they wanted me to do a TV show for them. They wanted me to be the horror block on Friday nights. They had a channel called America Unleashed. So that's part of why I called the show American Horrors. Okay. So we signed the contract in 2008, and they wanted it bad. They wanted the show as fast as we could get it done. So I left the adult film business. I was directing music videos at the time. I went into that more. I've done music videos with Danzig, Obituary,
nice.
Dark Funeral.
Big Danzig fan.
A lot of indie guys, Heard the Humans, The Shift. So I've worked a lot with directing music videos and stuff. I've done a lot with Danzig. Danzig he's been really cool. He's really helped me a lot. He was really instrumental in helping me launch. He's given me a lot of business advice. He's really kind of, I don't know, he took me under his wing, and he really kind of took me to school on a lot of stuff in the entertainment business and movies and TV and contracts and stuff. So we got the deal and we shot the show, and then boom, the whole real estate market crashed out here in America. The whole bubble burst. I can't tell you how many people went out of business in Los Angeles. So many restaurants and companies, adult film companies, so many people were wrecked by that bubble bursting. And then, so we had a show. We had a finished show. I had 7 2-hour episodes cut, locked, and loaded. And we had 13 24-minute, it's 24 minutes, it's a half hour. That's what you do. You break it up.
Yeah.
It's either 22 minutes and 30 seconds or 24 minutes,
Yeah.
depending on how many commercials are going to slam in there.
Yeah.
So we shot 24 minutes. So I had 13 episodes of that. So now I've got this TV show, and I've quit doing the adult film business, and I shut down my post-production studio to do this full time. Now I'm fucked.
Yeah.
So the whole thing collapsed. It all went away, and I tried to sell the show. So I went to NAPD, which is kind of like the American film market, or kind of like Cannes, but it's for TV.
Yeah.
So people come and buy television shows from all around the world. And that's a whole other story, because I stole a booth on the floor.
Well, there's nobody using this. I'll take it.
Pirate, motherfucker! Anyway, when you're sailing the high seas, it's good to have some fun. So I stole this booth, and I met a whole boatload of people in the TV and film industry. And while my partner, one of the guys I was working with to help me, we were at NAPD together, and he's in the airport, and he happened to sit down next to a television advertising executive who is a headhunter for various people, this guy Mike. And it's because these two guys bumped in together at the airport. I got to meet Mike, which was really cool. I really liked the guy. And about a year after that, because I was in NAPD in, I believe, 2010, a year later, I get a call from crazy billionaire Alki David. I'm talking like mega rich, big bucks, like fucking billionaire, like Bill Gates billionaire, you know? He's the heir to the Coca-Cola bottling empire in Europe. And actually, I think he grew up in England, and he vacations in Greece every year. So his headhunter was Mike, and he was launching Film On. So they needed horror, because horror is a $1 billion industry. Most people don't understand that horror has more of a shelf life than comedy. It has more of a shelf life than action. Horror is bones to bones. It is the number $1 investment you can make in film, is a horror film. That's your best bet. You can sell it the longest. It doesn't need a lot of stars.
Horror DVDs will constantly sell years down the line, no matter how old they get. Probably if modern horror cinema keeps going the way it is at the moment, it's going to be
a return to the good old days.
Yeah,
I think so. And you know, honestly, we already have the good old days. The only problem I'm seeing with the modern horror is, one, they're trying too hard to be a mainstream film, so they're losing their identity by using all these stream samples. Their scores suck. The film scores suck. Where is that?
Yeah.
Where is the significant? Or Michael Myers, Halloween. You just start doing the Halloween theme, and people know immediately.
I think where they've really started to fall down is that there's nothing wrong with John Carpenter. Let's get something straight.
I'm not saying there is. I was saying it as a good thing.
I know. I'm joking. But where I think the downfall in the modern horror movies are that they've become this repeated jump scare fest.
Formulaic.
I hate the jump scares because they're cheap as fuck. Yeah. And they kind of ruin it. Like, you'll have a great movie, and then they'll put a stupid cheap jump scare right before the end credits, and it ruins it for me.
Or they'll already have shown them in the trailer. The
Trailers are ruining cinema these days.
It's not the trailers.
No, they've always been that way, brother. They have always been that way, because I can't tell you how many trailers I've seen. One of my favorite things to run on American Horrors, for people who have not seen American Horrors, we are a 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week, linear streaming set of horror channels. There's 2 of them, and down the road we're going to launch 3 or 4 more. We're eventually going to have like American Horrors Extreme with the really fucked up shit. Nice. Right now we've got 2 American Horrors channels. I am debuting all the new content on the Roku channel, and if you don't have a Roku, you can watch it on AmericanHorrors.com. And it's one of those things where I've seen thousands of trailers, like recently, because I'm trying to figure out what to play.
Yeah.
And when I schedule the channel. I don't have some peon do it. And the way I schedule the channel, I look at it as if I'm editing a movie together.
Love it.
So I edit the schedule together. I am like cutting it. So I know the movies. I know what music video should go with what trailer. Because in the business we call it the flow. You got to have the flow. You can't have something that jars the viewer out of the reality they've immersed themselves in.
Mm-hmm.
You get it? So we pay very close attention to what we air. So that's why you'll see weird public service announcements about crystal meth kids invading a home. I mean, I try to find the most fucked up shit to play. So we have commercials in between the films, no commercial during the movies, no commercial during the short films. So we have short horror from around the world. We have feature films from around the world. And our focus is on the VHS age of horror that never made it to DVD. So one of my favorite joys is tracking all this stuff down. And I'm doing it right now. I'm in the middle of processing about 25 new films that we're going to be getting. Some of them are licensed. Some of them are public domain. We've got this short film contest with Madflix. It's really exciting, actually. It's a really exciting time. I just had a great meeting with Film On on Friday. And I really like Alki, actually. I learned so much working shoulder to shoulder with a goddamn billionaire. I got to work shoulder to shoulder with him. He recruited me. Like, he came in and he's the one that wanted me to launch a horror channel on Film On. He's like, hot, we won't shoot. It's like, this guy's nuts. He'll back me up. He won't censor me. He's got the money to stick around, because I had to deal with a lot of startups that were trying to do what Film On was doing. But it's difficult. The tech is not easy at all. It's gotten easier, but most people have failed at this game. I've dealt with a lot of startups. So Alki really took the ball and ran, and he was nutty. He likes to fuck with people. Believe me, working with him wasn't always easy. I did a broadcast show for him. We did 3 episodes shot as if they were live. We had no rehearsal time. So if you go to the filmon.com VOD, you can find those 3 American Horrors broadcast shows, and it's the only place you'll find them. And we shot them as if we're live. And there's some cool shit in those shows, too. And it's free. So go to filmon.com and check out the American Horror shows that they got there.
Cool. Definitely check that out. You can even get an app on your phone now, so you can save yourself even more hassle.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a smartphone. I got a dumb phone because in America they're spying on everybody.
Yes,
and
thank you.
Active. I don't want them spying on me. I mean, even Facebook does this. I don't know if most people know this, but
I know. I'm a camera guy, dude.
The Facebook Messenger app on your phone, they get access to your microphone and camera. Why the fuck does Facebook need to be able to turn my camera on and microphone on and listen and watch me without me knowing?
Anybody who doesn't believe that this actually happens, and it sounds like we're all talking about a bunch of conspiracy theory stuff, I'm just going to put this out to you. Have you ever been sitting on Facebook talking to your friend, going on about how much you'd love some Domino's pizza or something like that, and then mysteriously it's all Domino's adverts that start appearing up the side of your screen? That's because they're spying on you people.
It's actually worse than that, gentlemen, because they data mine every IM. So I've had the hardest time with filmmakers telling them, guys, I cannot send you my contract because Film On's IM, they legally declare that they own anything you send through the IM. They declared this. So lawyers that I work with, and I work with a lot of lawyers, guys, because if you're in the entertainment industry, you better have a fucking army of lawyers, and I do. So I don't give a fuck about what's
Marvel 0 Part 1.
Sorry, I just had this vision of you with green skin and all these suited winged monkeys. Go, my minions, kill, kill.
Well, my main lawyer is a sergeant from the Marine Corps and worked for military intelligence.
Oh, Jesus
That'll
Christ.
do it.
That's my main lawyer.
He actually probably could go and kill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
the
terrifying.
guy who set up the streaming for American Horrors, the gentleman who set it all up, is Max DeVille. He was a sergeant in the Army, and he's an Iraq War veteran. So I know that motherfucker has shot a bunch of people dead. We've talked about it. The first time he ever killed a guy, it really bothered him. He talked about this on Heart Attack, my radio show. If somebody wants to hear my radio show, go to soundcloud.com/Heart Attack, and that's HART, Heart. So I lost my train of thought.
You were saying
I'm still hungover, guys.
Oh, it's okay. Birthday celebrations you're speaking to the guys in the right country to understand.
Yeah.
It was so funny. I had some stupid broad give me some shit at the end of the night. I said something nasty to her. She got shocked. And she's like, well, that's why you're walking home. And I'm like,
I'm walking home because I'm drunk.
Yeah.
I'm drunk, but I'm married. I'm walking home to my wife at home.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing a chick back home.
I don't know why you think I'm
my
walking
wife's
home.
sick in bed. Not happening.
We were talking about your army of lawyers, and then you were talking about heart
The
attack.
army of lawyers. Yes. We have a federal trademark and copyright attorney that we work with. I work with several lawyers. You have to. They have different specialties. And in the entertainment industry, if you don't, you're going to get ripped off a lot. Like, I sued Marvel Comics. I'm the only comics creator to ever beat Marvel over my book, Dark Angel. And when John Cameron did the Dark Angel TV series, I had to really think hard. Am I going to sue him now?
Yeah.
But I decided I'm going to save my money because that show's going to get canceled in 2 years. And it did.
Which is...
What was it?
They continued the story. Yeah, they got 2 seasons, and they continued the story in a couple of books.
Oh, really? Cool. And the same thing happened with American Horror Story. They ripped me off. They totally ripped me off. I submitted the American Horror Show to them, and I had to make that decision. Do I sue these guys, or I'm going to jujitsu their advertising campaign, and they're only on the air 3 months out of the year, but I'm on every day, all day.
Yeah.
Suck it. And then they're going to get canceled soon, too. And their search terms are embedded now. So now they've done my branding for me. I'm going to be around for a long fucking time. I am here to be the Dark Disney. American Horrors is meant to be the Disney of fucking horror. And most people don't know. Walt Disney's from Chicago. Playboy was started in Chicago. Viacom is owned by Sumner Redstone, who hung from a burning building by his fingers while he was on fire in Chicago.
Harry Dresden is in Chicago.
That's true.
So that's part of why I moved the American Horrors empire back to the Midwest.
I in a little bit of the research I was doing, who was it? I can't remember what interview it was, but I saw you referred to as if Stan Lee and all of the guys from Marvel and DC and that are the gods of comic books, then comparably Hart.D.Fisher is the devil. I can't remember who said that exactly.
I am the devil, my friends. I am the devil. And if you're weak-minded, I'll get in there and I'll push your fucking buttons.
I'm no-minded. I'm safe.
Have you ever seen Session 9?
Yeah, it's a great film.
Amazing
That was
movie.
one of those few films that actually, you know what I'm talking about, just that one instant, and it just put a chill up your spine because the entire voice changed. And that's
unlike Alien Covenant, where it was one instant and it put an entire film franchise down the fucking shitter.
Tomorrow.
Down the shitter, Ridley Scott.
Do you guys play a lot of the horror video games? Is there like a horror video game worth of shit?
That Friday the 13th game is looking pretty tasty.
We haven't had a hop off it ourselves, but Faceless Mike was playing it yesterday. Now, unfortunately, because everyone's got onto it, the servers were a bit laggy. So a lot of the time, we were trying to comment on it, and it's really hard because
Mike put up that he said that Gun Media put up they put up an apology going, sorry for all of the drops in servers yesterday due to the demand from everyone playing the game. It turns out that our servers killed more people than Jason ever could. I was like, oh, well, look, if you fuck up, own it at least. Well done. Well done.
They're still working the kinks out of that, but it actually does look like a great game. It looks like the best game of hide and seek ever. There's what was that one we did, Penundrum or the World War I game?
We did it.
We did a review of it there a couple of weeks ago. They showed it up on Unilad.
I got to admit, being a big comic book geek, that I've been really enjoying a lot of the comic book games. I really enjoyed all the Batman shit. I don't even read comic books anymore. I'm so focused on American Horrors, and man, dudes, I'm signing so much talent, and the viewership is going up, man. I mean, we've had. I just figured out some different things in the Roku analytics, and we've had over 125,000 people around the world install our channel on Roku.
Nice,
and that's just in a year and. It's a year and 7 months. That's pretty good. Actually, no, a year and 5 months. That's pretty amazing. Like when we launched with Film On, Alki was shocked because our network was in the top 20 of networks being watched when we first went on the air. And I signed a contract with him in May of 2011. And so I knew about American Horror Story, and I knew it became a race to who's going to get on the air first. And I got on the air first. I had 3 months to come up with 300 hours of content. Formatted, signed, sealed, everything legal. 3 months, Jesus. 300 hours.
And it was you or American Horror Story?
It was just me and my wife who did it. American Horror Story went on at the end of October, and we went up October 2nd.
Nice. Matter of weeks.
And then I did the whole fuck you video to them that I only aired on American Horrors. I won't put it on YouTube. I did a whole speech with pomp and circumstance playing and the American flag behind me, and then I told them to go fuck themselves and suck it.
So
It was funny.
go over to American Horrors if you want to check that out, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, definitely. Is it
As far as like being the devil of comics, I never tried to do that. I just was having fun. I just did the comic books that I wanted to read. That was my mantra. And I'm doing the same thing with American Horrors. I'm putting up movies that either I want to watch or I think that somebody else will really want to see this, and it's still pretty cool. Because we decide what we're going to air based on, does it have an interesting visual style? Is it got a cool soundtrack? Did I like it? I will admit I have not seen every movie on our network. Some of them have been found by, guys like you, film historians who, and that's what you are in a way. A lot of guys that are into this stuff came forward and helped me. There's a lot of guys in Los Angeles that donated their time and their legal expertise for me to figure out what can I legally air, what are my contracts supposed to be. So I got really lucky. A lot of people helped me. And so American Horrors is, dude, it's a dream come true for me. I love what I do. I personally do the scheduling of the Roku channel. My wife does the Film On channel. But since she's been sick, we haven't been changing the programming as much because she has not been able to sit in front of the computer and do it because her body's not making enough blood. They think it may be radiation damage in her hip bones because she's a cancer survivor. And so that's part of it. And I have to take her to hyperbaric chamber treatments, and it's costing me $1,000 a month for these hyperbaric chamber treatments. And the debt over the emergency blood transfusion and some of her other things that we've done to try to figure out what's going on with her have all fucking cost through the goddamn nose. And that's why I do the GoFundMe. And I'm just getting ready to start doing commercials on American Horrors for the GoFundMe. We have raised, I think it's $8,600 just on Facebook alone, which is pretty amazing. And actually, people have been buying a lot of my stuff. There's an American Horror store, so if you don't want to donate, buy something. I'll ship it to Ireland. It's going to cost you more for the shipping, but you guys know I've sent you guys stuff.
We're also going to have there's going to be, which we've had in talks, the American Horrors Gorecast crossover T-shirts, which are all going to be going in aid of helping the Waka Fund as well.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that.
Look, man, we're all family now.
It's true, and that's the way I view things. I don't understand why people pursue the entertainment business the way they do, but the way I've always pursued my business and why I stayed in business as a comic publisher for so long, with so much adversity, so much trouble, is because I view my business partners as that's a relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm in business to have long-term, profitable relationships. American Horrors, it hasn't made a shit ton of money. I haven't gotten rich off of it. I didn't make shit the first couple of years at all. And now it's starting to make some revenues. Now I'm starting to get some revenues that I could share with the filmmakers. I've got some VOD that I have to go and pay my filmmakers. We've had some success with that. So I'm finally at the stage where I can pay some of my guys, and I'm really fucking happy about that. I want my people to be producing the best work they can, and you can't do that if you're not eating.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the goal. Is I need to find an ad sales guy. We now have enough ratings. We are good enough now, and we have enough people watching that we're now ready to sell our advertising. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have been using direct response ads, and a direct response ad in America is like, have you got mesothelioma, asbestos cancer? Call us. We'll sue somebody and you can make some money. Well, I get a cut of that. If somebody calls, that's the problem with the direct response. I have no control. There's been lots of months where there was nothing.
The advertising version of commission.
Nothing. Yeah. And then the way we do it is the commercial that's associated with the product. If a filmmaker signs exclusively with me, we give them a cut of the ad revenue. We're going to give them some of that. So we basically divvy up the commercials at the beginning of their program, at the end of their program. But I don't have any control over anybody's going to respond to that. So that's why we need to have an ad sales guy so we could do upfronts, and then everybody will make some money.
Nice.
Cool.
Because that's what we want to do with you guys. We're going to be looking for sponsors for your show. That's one of the things when I hire a guy this summer. Everybody, I'm going to be trying to find, this episode of Gorecast is brought to you by Ovaltine. Ovaltine, that yummy, tasty treat that you can't believe you just drank because it really tastes like shit.
Cutting myself in gaze in the kitchen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we're trying to do. That's the goal. And we're getting there. We're having a lot of success. We've got a new PR person that's working with us, helping us out. We've got a new webmaster who just revamped the whole website. We've completely expanded our VOD offerings now. So, and I'm going to go ahead and announce it here too. I'm going to be writing again. I have been writing for a while now. And so if you thought I was the devil before, wait till you see the shit I'm writing now. It's fucking in your face, in your head, and I'm going to leave scars in your fucking soul.
And is it books or poetry? Because you've done poetry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've done spoken word around the world. My first book of poetry, Poems for the Dead, sold out of its first printing. It sold out of its printing at Chaos Comics. I actually didn't sell all of their. They pulped a bunch of them because they collapsed their warehouse. They went out of business. Long story. The second collection of poetry is Still Dead, which I released right after I faked my death for April Fool's Day in 1998. I was dead for a whole week, and the Comic Buyer's Guide and the Comics Journal teamed up to figure out whether I was really dead or not.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. That prank changed my life because I was so used to people giving me shit for the horror comics and giving me a hard time about what I was doing that it was nice to hear the fans like, oh man, I can't believe that dude's dead. And this was in the early days of the internet, so I didn't understand how far it reached.
Him and Weird Al Yankovic. God damn it. Weird Al Yankovic faked his own death as well.
Really? Oh, did he?
Yeah, it did. Basically, funny story for anyone who is never heard. It was basically he never had any copyright claim to any of the songs that he did the parodies of. So eventually, all of it came rolling back on him. More specifically, Shimon came rolling back on him. So he just faked his own death and then stayed dead for like 4 years until all the court cases dropped. And evidently,
did he really do that?
Yeah.
I'm surprised he wasn't prosecuted because it's illegal in America to fake your own death for profit or to escape prosecution.
I don't know. That's what I'd heard anyway. I can't remember.
It might not be true because you would get prosecuted. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe people just like Weird Al. I like Weird Al.
Yeah. Maybe he did it what if he did do it in a different country?
I don't know. Would that count? I don't know.
I don't know. Because the whole copyright thing is split up around the world, and frankly, that's how I'm able to air some of the stuff I can air because of the laws in America. There's certain titles that the copyright wasn't filed for, like say a VHS release, and the company's out of business now, so it's now public domain. That's how I have gotten a lot of the public domain stuff is because of laws like that. I've got lawyers that are helping me figure it out, and if we make a mistake, we yank down the movie immediately, Yeah. Luckily, we haven't gotten any kind of a notice or anything. There was a movie I was going to air, but then the director started suing everybody who was selling it on Amazon. So I was like, no, fuck that shit.
Down you go. Down you go.
Yeah, I don't need that movie. I'm fine. I got plenty of other cool movies.
I got plenty of movies. You keep that movie.
Yeah, here's another pot over here.
And I'm looking, so if there's Irish filmmakers out there that have a killer short horror film.
Oh, we know plenty.
Yeah,
we know plenty.
But getting back to that announcement about the writing, what we're going to do on the American Horrors website is we're going to start a writing section of original fiction. And I am going to start publishing books again under the American Horrors wing. We're going to be not doing comic books, but book books. So I am signing authors right now for these short stories. I've already signed 3 guys. And we're going to start that probably in July, I think. Nice. Either July or August, depending on how things are going with our premieres in June. But every month, there's going to be 2 new short horror stories that go up. And these are uncensored. So there's going to have to be a warning in front of it because of my penchant for writing fucked up shit.
Warning, this book is for adults. If you are not an adult, put it the fuck down.
If you can't understand that adults needs adults.
I'm going to write one story a month, and we'll have a guest writer once a month. So it'll be the guest and then me, the guest and then me, the guest and then me. I'm going to do this all year long. I'm in the writing table right now. I've been working on a TV series for American Horrors for a long time. I've been researching it. I'm going to change the way people view exorcism. I'm tired of everybody just ripping off The Exorcist. I'm tired of contortionists in a white, dirty dress. I'm sick of that shit. So I'm going to write our own exorcism, Satanism, X-Files kind of show for American Horrors. It's something that I've been working on for about 5 years.
I will be in that if you ever need it. Because
Sure. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. The goal is to do 13 episodes of it. We want to do it on American Horrors. I'm talking to financial people about it now. And I'm finishing the first script. I'm in the middle of writing the script. So I'm going back and forth between the script for the TV series and the short stories that I'm writing. I've got 3 in the can. One of them, actually 2 of them, I have to admit, were written for anthologies that I was invited to. One of them is a zombie pimp story.
nice.
Which is god-awful brutal. And it's kind of based on some guys I really knew in adult films. And the location I wrote it as if it was at Max Hardcore's house. And of course, the anthology was too much for them. Was the horror story too scary for you?
Scary horror story. Scary.
Hart, do you
It
ever
was too
hear?
scary.
Hart, do you ever hear that line? Fools seldom differ.
No.
Great
Nice.
minds think alike, and fools seldom differ. I have a funny feeling I have a story that might be very similar to
The Irish mammies have fantastic phrases over here.
Yeah. The notion of the zombie pimp is not a foreign one when it comes to short stories.
Mhm.
He's also written a zombie pimp story.
Well, not exactly a zombie pimp, but
This is
He's not necessarily like a hooker on the street. That's how we refer to some of these guys in the business. The guy who brought his girlfriend, we called him a suitcase pimp because he came into town with his chick and he's pimping around to all the different adult film studios. We never really had much respect for people like that in the industry. And so that person was called a suitcase pimp. And then I knew a couple of guys that ran modeling agencies. So I kind of like a pimp, you know? So the character's kind of based on a guy I knew that was doing that.
first baseman.
And that's why I refer to him as zombie. But he's not pimping zombie girls, you know? He's just happened to come back for revenge on... Because the zombie stories that I write, they can still think.
yeah.
And this is told from his point of view, in his mind. And then the other story was also for an alien thing. I was invited to be part of an anthology in which it was all about aliens and music. You know, the idea of like rock and roll and musicians.
Yeah.
So
Let me guess.
I wrote this short story, and then the anthology people never talked to me. And then years later, they reached out to me, like this year, and they're like, "Hey, you know, we might want to still use that story." And I'm like, "You guys invited me for an anthology 3 years ago, and you telling me you might want it? You don't know? Fuck you. Fuck yourself. You know, get the fuck out of here. You and your fucking print on demand bullshit. Get the fuck out of here." So those 2 stories were already written, and then I've got a third that I just finished, and I'm getting ready to start the next. But I'm going in shifts, you know what I mean, back and forth between the script for the TV series, because my plan is to write all 13 episodes. I don't need a big group of writers for me to write. I used to write comic books, man, you know, and writing a hour show.
To be honest,
fucking nothing.
To be honest, having seen a crap load of TV shows, it's often the ones that only have 1 or 2 writers that seem to have the best continuity.
Yes, because they're all on the one mindset about where the story should go,
Pretty much.
and it's very easy to, like, if you and I are writing a script together, it's very easy for you and me to sit down and be like, okay, where should we go next?
Yeah.
You know, opposed to 20 people.
When you have a group, what ends up happening is the producers or the money people, they start inserting shit that they don't understand the mechanics of the story. They don't know that it has to function. You know what I mean? It has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
They just want people to do this, and they want the character to say that, and they want this person over
I know
there.
it's aliens, but there still has to be a certain level of reality here to make people buy it.
In the entertainment industry, something that was told to me once was actually this person was saying that smart people are always trading up for the best idea. And a dumb person that's not very creative, they don't have a lot of ideas. A creative person, I'm bursting with ideas, but a dummy, they've only got one, and they're going to hold on to that motherfucker like it's money. You get it? And so they've got their one idea, and that's it. You know, they can't let it go. They got to get it in there. They've only got one. But if you get a group of really smart people together, they're going to trade up for the best idea. And that's what I try to do. I try to associate with really smart people. I've gotten a hero's welcome coming back to the Midwest. People have been really cool.
Nice.
People are really helping us out. A lot of people have come to help me and my wife in our time of need. It's been an awesome homecoming, man. Absolutely fantastic to be back in the Midwest. I'm really thrilled I'm back.
That's excellent.
Mhm.
Well, on that, I think we're pretty much at the hour of the show.
Over it.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Time really flew. So,
Yeah.
from everyone out there, if you want to check us out, we'll still be doing the shows on Facebook occasionally, but mostly we're going to be on American Horrors from June 18th, where you can check us out and you can check out more of the awesome short horror movies. If you have an Irish director or anything like that, and you have a cool horror movie, buzz us on in here, and we'll try and see if
Yeah,
there's
if
anything
you
we can
guys
do.
want to send your movies to Gorecast, and then these guys can send them to me. That's cool too. The Emerald Gore Society guys have been supportive of American Horrors for years now, and it's part of. You guys have been real consistent. That's a key thing in entertainment. You're consistent. You're not pushy dildos. You're supportive, and you're thinking.
We opted for that in the show, and we said we'd leave it.
Yeah, and that's something I like about you guys, and it's part of why I signed you. Well, I like your show actually. I enjoyed
Thank you very much.
because for the people at home who don't know, the Gorecast that's going to be on American Horrors is going to be more web-sized. So their episodes are going to be between 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You guys cut them, so are they between 5 and 7 or between 5?
They're mostly between there's 1 or 2 5-minute ones. Mostly I'd say about 6.5 to 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to premiere your show on Sundays, and then it'll run in different parts of the schedule throughout the week.
Nice.
And then the new show will be up on Sunday. So for fans of Gorecast, June 18th, you're going to have 13 new TV show episodes every week. Every week there's going to be another episode for 13 weeks. And then hopefully people respond and we can keep doing this and doing more shows. I think we can. You guys seem like you're able to do this.
We already have
We've
I'd say
already
there's
got
about
ideas.
another 2 seasons already wiped up in there.
Well, then maybe we'll have to air more than 13 episodes.
Well, we can
We
work
can
on
always
that.
talk about that too.
Yeah, that's cool. Anyway, from myself and Giz, thanks again so much for Hart to take some time and take us on to American Horrors and to take some time out to chat to us about American Horrors and about everything here. And other than that, I think, do you want to do the finger? You think we'll do the finger? Tag team.
3,
Tag team.
2, 1.
Gorecast out.